guys, day 7 of JuV, and I'm just back from the cinema, where I've seen X-Men Dark Phoenix. Needless to say, there will be spoilers in this review. Let's just jump right into it, not gonna give a recap. X-Men Dark Phoenix is not the worst take on the Phoenix storyline, and that's with, you know, a lot of takes on it in the comics, and obviously we don't talk about that. We just don't. We don't talk about it. Why we don't? Please, just don't. Please. It's not the worst X-Men film. It's not the worst Phoenix film. It's not the worst X-Men Phoenix film. It's a decent enough film. It features some stuff. There's a lot of weird continuity stuff in this one, and just, Charles and Eric still look like they're in their late 30s, early 40s, and they should definitely be in their 60s by now. The film is set in 1992. They were children in the 40s. Ergo! The film does give us a good look at Xavier's dark side. It really does. He's a bit of a manipulative, egotistical dick. But ultimately, it's shown that he does still have a heart again, which, you know, is fine. But he is still a dick, is the problem. Like, I don't know. He does take ownership of this one mistake. There's many others that he should probably be taking, you know, the blame for and stuff. Xavier is a very, very, very flawed character, and, like, don't get me wrong, I love a flawed character, but, they've played around with this a little bit badly in this one. I went into this film with very, very low expectations. I didn't end up disappointed entirely, but that's because they were so low. It's not a great film. It's an okay film, but it's not a great film. It could have been a lot better. One of the things that I did like about it was that they did do an interesting thing, an interesting nod to the comics with the aliens in this film, the Debari, because that's the planet that Jean, as the Phoenix, ate in the comics. That you know, in her first turn as the Dark Phoenix, she goes off and eats a sun and destroys a bunch of planets by doing so. And that's the Debari system, where the aliens come from. And that's an interesting idea. It's an interesting thing to take on it. I was pretty convinced, and I think a fair chunk of us comics readers were as well, that that Jessica Chastain's character was somehow going to be the Landra. Didn't happen. I'm okay with it. There's so many things that could have been done a bit better, but maybe my standards were a bit higher than I expected. I don't know. Kind of in the middle on it. Some of it was good, some of it was bad, some of it was okay. That's all we can ask for in a film like this. I suppose that's all we really need from some films, in fact, is just something that's something. One good thing is that this film did finally get away from being about, like, a bunch of some of the other characters, at least to a certain extent. So, the first 3 X-Men films were about, mainly, Logan Wolverine. First class films have largely been about Charles and Eric, Xavier and Magneto. Like, just those two, really. No matter what else it comes down to, it's them. And this one got us into Jean's head in a way that none of the other films have done. In the first 3, even when they were at all about Jean, they were just about Logan, who wanted to bang her despite the fact that she wasn't as interested as he thought she was. And I'm just tired of them focusing so much on one character in these films, or maybe 2 characters. The first class films have been largely just about Charles and Eric and Mystique by Raven, you know. Those 3 have been the majority of this. And yes, they've done that again a bit here at time and in places. But we got inside Jean's head in a way that we have not done in any of the previous films, and I'm so glad of that. Unfortunately, we still neglected a bunch of the other characters. Scott is a more prominent role here. Scott in Cyclops is my favourite character. He's perpetually underserved by the movies. The first three, as I've said, focused on Logan, and because Scott and Logan don't get on, well, Scott's made out to be a dick because the films were about Logan. Scott is still at least a little bit underserved here, because, like, him and Jean are a romance for the ages. Like, it's literally part of their whole thing. It's just, him and Jean's love in the comics was enough to inspire her to do some different things differently, and this one, they barely get that their chemistry's not really there, and just as I said, this film is a very interesting mix of good, bad, and just okay, and I will be interested to see what happens when we get the new reboot, which is definitely going to be happening at some point. There's just no way it's not going to happen, because of course the next thing that we've got is the MCU. Anyway, that's what I thought of this film. Let me know what you thought of it in the comments down below. I would really love to know what you think. So, let me know down there. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and that you remember to like and share it, and subscribe to my channel. Click on the thumbnails down below to see other videos by me, and I will see you guys tomorrow for the next day of JuV. Bye!